Hello, welcome back to another video on my thoughts on the current comic market. By now, I have already loaded the January market report, and need I remind everybody that the market went down in January compared to what happened in 2019. So the trend is still down, and not a surprise. I got a few questions here and there on, do I see the bottom for the market to rebound? It need a couple of factors to plays in together. Okay, I'm sure I'm beating a dead horse. Supplies and demand. I want to overlay this video with some slide. As I'm talking, you will see something coming in. One of the things that I look into in the past few years, and one of my favorite site is CGC data. It's a, I don't think it's have any kind of affiliation to CGC, but it's an independent site that collect data of submission from CGC, and then they compile into this big database, massive database. Okay, and I look at the trend of submission over the past few years, and here is the data. As you can see on the screen right now, you should see the result of how many slabs were done by CGC up until the end of 2019. Okay, and as you can see, I circled the box to show you the ending date of December 31st, 2019, and then show you the total calculation of all the universal signature, restore, qualified label. And as you can see, as of 2019, at the end of 2019, we have 4,848,519 slabs in the census. Okay, yes, for the true police out there, some of you were quick to jump, but there are people that's cracking out slab and not. Yes, there are some small discrepancy in the number because some books that have been cracked and resubmit, the labels has not returned to CGC. Yes, we know that. I know that. You know that. Okay, so if you follow that website and change the date on the bottom where it said December 31st, 2019, you can change it to say December 31st, 2018, and whatever year you want. So I went back every year to run the same analysis to come up with a bunch of numbers. And let me slide in the data that I compiled to show you the growth of submission over the past few years. As you can see, even with the down market of 2019, what do you see? Record high submission. Amazing, really. You know, for most market, if you see some kind of big downturn, you would expect that number to drop a little bit, right? But no, record high. So there is some disconnect between what people think of the market last year and what they think of the future. Now, I did not provide the breakdown of the 600,000 plus books that were submitted in 2019, but I did look at the breakdown for each age, and the increase is across all ages, whether it's gold, silver, or modern. Okay, so the supplies are increasing at a rapid rate or increasing rate. Now, there is no way to capture how many of those supplies are going to hit the market or they are for personal use. Okay, a lot of people do slab books to keep. Okay, there's no way to know for sure how many of the books that are slab is going to hit the market, and that's part of the market inefficiencies. Okay, that's nothing we can do about, but for sure, regardless of what kind of market you have, if you have supplies are not shrinking and demand going down, it's not going to help the price. Okay, if you look at other market, let's say oil. Okay, if they pump more oil and we use less gas, or there's a warm winter and we use less oil to heat the houses, guess what? Price will come down rapidly, right? I'm sure those that pay attention to price at the pump or at the heating bills for this winter so far, you notice how low the prices are compared to previous few years. Guess what? Because as much as the oil company want to cut supplies, they can only cut so much. So there's an overhang of supplies out there that's gonna suppress the price for a while. And I can transport that example into this hobby. Even though we can't quantify how many of those books that have been slabbed is going to be hitting the market or when they're going to hit the market, that's an overhang of supplies over the market. And as many people are doing the same thing I'm doing, instead of like slabbing something to sell right away, we're slabbing something like me and hold on to it a little bit longer to wait for the price to rebound or the right time to sell. And that's going to create like a few layers of overhang over the market, right? So it's going to be a topping part that's going to be hard for the market to break and go to all-time high. Whenever you have a situation like this where the market came down, then there's going to be a whole bunch of people waiting to sell at a certain level for the rebound. And so when the rebound happens, there's going to be a huge overhang of supply that's going to sell into the strength of the market. And when that happens, it will curb the rise and level it for a while until that supplies is absorbed. Makes sense? Yeah? So because of that, because of what I just explained, I think when and if there is a rebound, could be this year, could be next year, I don't know when. I don't have a crystal ball for that. But because of that, whenever there is a rebound, and by a rebound, I mean you gotta see multiple months, at least 2 or 3 months of price increasing, you're gonna start see heavier selling going on that would likely keep the rise timid. I could be wrong, okay? Heck, as a seller, I hope I'm wrong. I want things to go up faster, right? I want to see a V-shaped snapback so that I can sell at the near all-time high next year. Wishful thinking. Yes, that's what I call wishful thinking. So at the end of the day, you know, when people ask me about my view, my perspective on the market going forward, I think it's going to be softer, and then a very timid rise for a few years to come because there is a lot of supplies out there that the market need to absorb, or if there is a huge influx of new collectors, where would they come from? I don't know. Okay, I'm sure people will throw out, you know, oh, more people will jump in the hobby after the announced a Fantastic Four and the X-Men. Some people will say that, you know, but I'm not gonna be the one to say that. I don't know. I already said that many people have already used up their fuels in past videos, so I just don't see that many new blood with deep pocket jump in the hobby because of the Fantastic Four. There will be some, there's always gonna be a few, but is there gonna be enough to turn the tide? Time will tell. My selling strategy has to change because with the market condition as it is, I just had to be more patient and put in more effort. At the end of the day, it's more work to sell this way, as far as, you know, time it right, make sure I list things, price things correctly, or hold back on selling something until the right time. So it takes a little bit more work, but that's what it is. Okay, hopefully people can take away from my videos is that there is opportunities to make profit in a down market if you are willing to put in the work that's needed. Okay, it's harder. There's no dispute that it is harder to turn a profit, or the profit margin is less. Okay, but there is profit. There are still plenty of winning in this game. Thus, I'm still doing it. But because of the ongoing onslaught of submission, it's gonna take a lot of buying to absorb the supplies out there to turn the market around. That's why, when it comes down to my view on the market right now, I am not very bullish on a turnaround because there are just a lot of supplies. I'm sure I'm not the only one that are holding on to some books and waiting for the rebound to sell, because when the rebound happens, there's going to be a lot of people selling into the rebound, and that's going to subdue the rebound somewhat, right? Common sense, yeah? Well, hopefully it is. Anyhow, that's it on my thoughts on the current comic market and showing you all the little data. If you have never used CGC data, go there, play around with a bunch of different search. It's fascinating. It's fun. I'm a data geek, so for me, it's a whole lot of fun to just go there, type in all kind of different search to see the trend of certain book submission and all that stuff. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.